Now, in its 11th year, this is GabNet. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Live from Harlem in New York City. Yes, it's the Ramble with me, Alex Bennett. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Lori Thompson.
Hello there.
You know, sometimes we do two of these at a time. We're doing it now, provided her voice lasts.
Yeah.
But we forgot to mention last week on the last show we did that it was coming up on 4th of July, but now the 4th of July is behind us.
Yes, and then if they start advertising back to school sales, I'm gonna give them what for, because they're robbing me of my summer.
Well, listen, you're a Gentile, okay?
I am.
Now, I've never held that against you.
Thank you.
But don't you get a little tired of Christmas coming a little too early every year now?
I like what your dad, Mr. Schwarzman, would say.
Yes.
Christmas is at our throats once again.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Because of the Christmas music and it just inundates everything.
No, but it used to start like, I don't know, 2 weeks before Christmas.
Yeah, and then it was nice. It was nice. It was a nice dose.
And it used to. Then it started with the what was it? Black Friday sales.
Yeah,
right after Thanksgiving.
The day after Thanksgiving.
Now
that was great.
Now they start even earlier.
I know, Ben. I know. I'm with you. It's a travesty. Because Black Friday was like, if you went to Union Square on Black Friday in San Francisco, you would see everybody you wanted to see. They were all there from all the burbs. It was a real fun day.
Yes.
And everybody shops online.
That's right. That's right. So I mean, it was. I don't know. It's just all this comes too early.
Well, it's commerce. It's all commerce, Ben.
Yeah.
Commerce fuel. If they can sell something in early December and claim it's a fabulous before Christmas savings, then you're going to go for it.
Do you remember a few years ago? Speaking of 4th of July, which is now past when this is being played. A few years ago, all of a sudden, we started getting fireworks going off. God, in May.
That's a little premature.
Every night, fireworks. Apparently, there was some people coming in and selling them to the people in the neighborhood or whatever.
Well, that makes sense. Or do you have Latin populace somewhere around? They have another set of holidays that they celebrate. They celebrate.
Yeah, this wasn't Latin at all. No,
it was just
these were a bunch of inconsiderate kids. But now you're trying to go to sleep at night, and these things are going off at 3 a.m. And then I mentioned this on the program, and people started saying to me, well, it's happening in my neighborhood too, and it was somebody in California.
This is interesting.
There was a period where somehow, there was an influx of illegal fireworks into this country.
Well, see, we put those tariffs on China, and that'll end right there. That'll stop that right in its tracks.
Yeah, because they invented the fireworks, damn them.
They did. And remember the company, there was a family company that did most of the fireworks in the big cities. Oh, we had
Garucci.
Yes, we had Deb Garucci on. And they do so many of the celebrations.
I guess they're still doing them, actually.
Are they?
I think so, yeah.
That'd be good. There's a guy in Jackson that makes a great living just putting up Christmas trees for the wealthy. And he doesn't work the rest of the year. What a great
Christmas
gig.
trees for the wealthy.
Yes, in Jackson there's this group. And I got to know them through a real circus.
I'd like to bring him in and say, I'm really wealthy, but I only want a tree this big.
They would do it. They would do it for a fee.
For a fee.
They charge hundreds and thousands, sometimes dollars, but the trees they look like a White House tree.
I'm going to tell you a story. I had a girlfriend one time in San Francisco, And she take a sip of water.
Sorry.
There you go. We're talking her through this one.
Yeah.
Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so she was Mormon, and I went out with her. So
Mormon?
Well, in certain respects, she didn't act like a Mormon, so that was fine.
Oh, are you saying you got to see her undergarment?
Yes, I got to see her undergarments.
Oh.
She didn't wear those though.
She didn't?
No.
Steve Young wears one, apparently.
Yeah, it's called the garment. I think it's called.
I wonder, because it's something you wear between your clothes and your undies, or in lieu of undies.
I think it's. Who knows? I'm not a Mormon. Who are you asking?
I just called Steve Young.
Anyway, her parents took Christmas very seriously.
Really?
Yes.
Well, are Mormons against Christmas?
And they never parked their car in the garage, and the reason is that all the ornaments and stuff were stashed in the garage.
Really?
And then they would do their Christmas thing, and if they turned on the switch, the whole neighborhood lit up. Okay, I mean it was there. They did the whole house, and they had things going here and there, and I mean, just it was like, and people would drive by to see their house.
Oh yeah, we've got one of those in our neighborhood, and there's one in every town. It's like somebody hit every after Christmas sale where they could get the Christmas decor for pennies on the dollar, and they put it all in their front yard. And I'm just like, dude, overkill, overkill.
Now don't strain your voice when you're talking. Take it easy. You remember she has the cancer. She has a touch of the cancer.
Right, me and little Richard.
Yeah. By the way, have you had any tests lately to find out how your cancer is doing?
No, I'm going to see the ENTs on the 13th and hopefully get rid of the RAS.
Oh, okay.
I might have the operation in Birmingham. We'll see. Stay tuned.
Wait a minute. Is an operation to get rid of the rasp?
Yeah. It's happening because I have the width and depth of my throat has been very compromised. And it's so the parts friction, they move together too closely.
They can do that without ruining your voice or anything, right?
They can. Yeah, I made sure.
Yeah, because make sure with all these things,
Oh yeah, and this is a guy. When you have cancer, you get to know the doctors, and some are just like they're phoning it in. But I've been very, very lucky.
Yeah.
And my ENT, I would give him a kidney. He's so nice.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, as long as you feel confident that you're getting the kind of care you should be getting.
I do. With these, I've narrowed it down to these three, and they're good. One, I told you, what left at the end of my treatment to go take a teaching position at Harvard. So that was a good sign.
Oh, you mean that anti-Semitic school, according to Donald Trump? I love Donald Trump, who's a Gentile plus,
right.
Telling me what's anti-Semitic and not anti-Semitic.
Exactly. Wow, some Republicans jumped ship to get that recent policy through. What was it, Susan Collins, Maine, and Rand Paul.
But as we're recording this, it hasn't passed or succeeded. But I think it probably would have passed.
Yeah, it seems like
because Trump always gets his way. I mean, it's a shame that something that profound, and that affects that many people, can make it into law by one vote.
I know. And J.D. Vance, of course, is going to vote. Who do you think he's going to vote with?
Yeah, well, he's those people are amazing. It's just amazing. It's the politics of cruelty.
Yeah. And I didn't mean to cut your train of thought. Have you noticed that Zoran Mundati looks a lot like J.D. Vance?
Does he?
He does. If you look, yeah, they have the same look in the pictures I saw.
All I know is I like the guy.
Do you?
I really like him. I voted for Cuomo, and now I feel bad that I did. Because I really didn't check out Mondavi enough.
Yeah, or he seems he's the first Muslim mayor, is he not?
Well, he will be the first Muslim mayor if he wins.
Yeah, if he wins. Yeah. So that was kind of neat that he did win in the primary. I was surprised because a Palestinian friend of mine has a daughter whose job is to get more Palestinians into office in this country.
Yeah.
Because Israel.
Well, he's not a Palestinian. He was born in, I think, where was it? Uganda or someplace like that. Some African nation. Yeah. But he's a Muslim.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's not a Palestinian, I don't think.
No, I don't think so either. But I was just, all them Muslims.
But anyway, all of a sudden I see him on TV after he's won this thing, and I'm going, was I crazy? I didn't even check this guy out. And I listened to him, and he's everything I believe in.
Yeah, well, he might make it into the general election, right? That was a primary, wasn't it?
Yeah, but now he's officially a candidate.
Yeah, right.
It came through, and I think if Cuomo doesn't ruin it by staying in, because he still is a candidate for mayor, and doesn't screw up the vote for the Democrats, I think he's a shoo-in, this guy.
Yeah, he seems to be.
Plus, he responded to the needs of New Yorkers. His main thrust was, I want to stop raising rents. I just want to stop it right now.
Yeah.
And that's something he can do. That's something that's within his. And the other thing was, he wants to start city-owned grocery stores.
How would that work?
Well, it'd be a city-owned grocery store but it doesn't work at a profit.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, now and somebody said, well, how are you going to do that? And he said, well, it's not like I'm going to open up 100 of them. He said, I'm going to open up one in each borough, 5 of them, and we'll see how it works. And if it goes, we'll do more. And if it doesn't work, we'll stop doing it.
That's very innovative.
And the concept there is, if you can lower the prices on groceries, and you can become very popular with those stores, what are the other grocers going to have to do? What are the other chains going to have to do?
Lower their prices.
Lower their prices, exactly. He believes that nobody in this country should be a billionaire. I agree with that. Mm-hmm. I mean, how much money do you need?
Right.
I
wondered about that. That's why so many, Bill Gates anyway, gave so much away.
He kept giving it away, but he never lost money. It kept coming, more came back to him, more came back to him. But he gave away a good chunk of his money because, and even, what's his name, the Sage of Omaha?
Buffett. Warren Buffett.
He believes that, what am I going to do with $1 billion?
Exactly.
I may as well, if I've got it, put it to some good.
Yeah. You can't even throw it on a bed and wallow in it anymore because it's all digital currency.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. It's amazing. So I agree. I don't think there should be billionaires. I just don't think anybody we're talking about not billion-dollar companies. We're talking about billionaires, individuals who are billionaires.
Yeah.
That, how much money do they need? How much money does the Amazon guy Bezos need? How much does he need? Does he really? How many weddings are you going to have in Venice?
Well, the thing too is, it seems like I was thinking a lot about this because of the recent 4th of July holiday, patriotism, and how a bunch of upstarts in Britain and shit disturbers came to this country because they were tired of the way they did things in Britain.
Yeah.
And like the Tea Party, that was pretty revolutionary.
Yeah.
It's like, we're not going to pay your tax stamps. We're going to make the world's biggest teacup and then come in with the little boats and take your tea and not pay the stamps. And so I was thinking just about the component of rebellion that formed this country. And yet, in other ways, it seems like they want to recreate monarchy.
No, but that rebellion doesn't exist any longer.
The what?
That rebellion doesn't exist any longer. Everybody, where Trump is concerned, is a capitulator.
Oh, yeah.
I was reading today, and this, of course, is a week after it happened, But CBS decided to make a deal with the Trump people
I thought 16 million or something.
yeah, but I mean, he was suing them for $2 billion, I think. You
Yeah.
know, so they settled with him,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't have settled. That's a big mistake.
Well, yeah,
You
it
know?
sets a bad precedent.
It's a terrible precedent.
And what is it? Was it over some 60 minutes piece or something?
What happened was it was the election and it was the 60 minutes before that Tuesday.
Okay.
And every time they ever do that show, they have both candidates on, one for 1/2 hour, one for the other half hour.
Uh-huh.
And then they interview them, and that's what they do. Well, they offered the time to Trump, but he didn't take it.
So there.
So but they did Kamala Harris. And what he's complaining about is they edited the interview. And they said,
always edit the interview.
We edit every interview. We try to do them so that it doesn't change the tone of what they're saying. But we edit every interview because they're much longer than we can put on the air.
Plus, politicians are boring.
Yeah, the politicians are boring. But, I mean, so he then decided to sue them because they had cut something out that they had run in a promo.
Yeah.
And it was the most. If they had gone to court on this, I don't think they would. There wasn't a chance in hell they were going to lose. I mean,
I think 60 Minutes kissing a little ass with it.
No,
Yeah.
well, no, 60 Minutes didn't kiss ass. In fact, the people at 60 Minutes, one of them quit as a result of all of this. Not Hewitt. No, Hewitt was years ago. I'm trying to remember the guy's name now, but he quit, and the other people at 60 Minutes wrote a letter to Sherry Redstone and said, "Do not capitulate to Trump." But she did. I mean, if it was only 12 million. I say only 12 million because they could have lost $2 billion.
A bunch.
Well, they could have, but it was a nuisance lawsuit, basically.
Oh yeah, that's what I thought.
But she's so intent on selling CBS to who is it? Skydance. I'm trying to remember who the other new company is, but they're actually going to merge with them. And she wants to do the sale. She wants to get rid of the company, and she can't until she settled with Trump. Well, I wouldn't have settled with Trump. I would have just waited, gone to court, proved that it was a frivolous case, and then moved on with my life. You know.
But I mean, she wants to get that okay.
She had no principle whatsoever.
Right, because she mingles with Don at cocktail parties.
Yeah, and plus the fact that the people at 60 Minutes who worked 60 Minutes were all down on her for doing it. They said, "Please don't do it. You know, what are you doing?"
Yeah.
You know, we didn't do anything wrong. We didn't operate any differently than we would operate any other time. We edit interviews that you know, and we don't edit them for bias. We have to edit them for time.
Yes, exactly. Because when that little hand stops clicking,
yeah,
you know, they got to be done.
What about 60 Minutes? Don't you understand? You know. So anyway, I mean, she capitulated, and you just don't capitulate on stuff like that.
I heartily agree. She's a neppet. Sherry, you're just a neppet.
A neppet?
So what happened when Dad gives the farm away to the kids?
Yeah, a nepo baby.
Yeah.
Nepo baby, I think, is the term. But anyway, so you know, I mean, but that aren't you glad you're? In some ways, aren't you glad you aren't in broadcasting now? Because they're all capitulating, every one of them. You know, you see.
I feel privileged to have lived when I did and seen so much. I do wish that there was a game where we could take ourselves and shoot like 100 years from now, 1,000 years from now, to see how everything shakes out that we're seeing right now.
You wouldn't recognize this place 100 years from now.
Right. I wouldn't recognize my town. I wouldn't recognize a ballot.
You might not even recognize America.
I agree.
Because I think that Americans are giving it away.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And yeah, what were you going to say?
Carl Sagan predicted it on this on the radio show. He said, China, he said by 2025, that's this year.
Oh,
will be the
really?
dominant world
Did he
power.
say that on my show?
He did, Ben.
Was he on my show?
Yes.
How high was I at the time?
I don't know.
Every now and then, people say to me, "And you remember when you had Carl Sagan on?" And I go, "Huh?
Yeah.
I had Carl Sagan on? Did I have him on by phone, or he wasn't in the studio?"
He was in the studio.
He was in the studio. Oh my God!
Yeah.
My God, I don't remember any of this.
Yeah. And Stedman Graham, I saw the sweat
Well,
trickling.
Stedman Graham, I remember having on Oprah's
He had the
boyfriend.
flu horribly.
Are they still together?
I don't know that they ever were in the Lord's way together.
In the Lord's way?
Yeah.
You have to remember this woman over here, over there, is she's very much a Baptist
Pentecostal.
kid, Pentecostal.
Pentecostal Assembly of God, which is a branch. It's a Pentecostal church, but Assembly of God. If you were raised Assembly of God, it does not mean.
Oh, hey, how about the death of Jimmy Swaggart?
I know, mind blower, huh? I tried and tried to get a press pass to his ministry in Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
And their heads are so far up their waz. I couldn't even get anybody to call back after I called about 5 times. I wanted to do a news piece on camp meetings. And that's his big thing. And they were a real thing when I was a child.
What's a camp meeting? Explain a camp.
Innocent tent meetings. Camp meetings, and then they had camp meetings.
Don't project your voice. Just
Okay.
speak lowly, okay? Because I don't want you to. I don't want to have you missing the next couple of weeks because you can't talk. Okay.
Right.
And,
well, hopefully the ENT will make it all better. But yeah, they would have these revival meetings in tents in the summer, and if the Holy Spirit took fire, as the saying goes,
yeah.
it could last for weeks. And Kinnison used to play at those tent revivals.
Sam Kinnison. Yeah.
Used to preach. In fact, I think he may have had a tent ministry, where they take the tent, move from town to town, that sort of thing.
Yeah. In case people don't know, Sam Kinnison was a preacher at one point.
Assembly of God preacher.
And he could, if I asked him to do it, do a little preaching for us, that screaming that that they do.
Yeah.
And he was very good at it. I mean, that's where he got his whole screaming for his act was his preaching.
Yeah, and there's a chance that I may have seen as a child Sam Kinnison at a camp meeting, because we went to them all the time.
Now, when you go to a camp meeting, do you literally camp? Do you have sleeping bags and things like that?
Used to in the 30s, but
yeah,
we didn't.
Didn't have any
No
sleeping
showers,
bags.
no place to put on your makeup.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we lost Jimmy Swaggart, and
You think Jessica Hahn sent flowers?
was it Jessica Hahn?
That was PTL.
That was PTL. That was yeah. Who did he? Oh, it was a hooker. It was just a hooker.
It was just, and she looked down on her luck. You could see the meth on her face.
Yeah.
And she was just it basically victimized her all over again.
Well, you spend your whole life being holier than thou, and eventually it's going to come to bite you in the ass.
You know it.
Just present yourself as a person who has all the faults of any other human being, only you're preaching the word of God, and please don't act like I do. Act like the Lord would want you to.
Yes.
And that I have my faults, and I'm going to be, I try to fight them at all times, but, if you're honest about yourself, then you can get away with it. I often said that nobody could ever get anything on me, Alex Bennett, the radio personality, because I made myself so sinful, right, on the air. Nothing anybody could claim I did or didn't do would come back to bite me in the ass.
Right. You're upfront about it.
Yeah.
Secrecy is what kills people.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, it's been there, and secrets are what allow other people to get over on you.
Yes, exactly.
So
if you don't you can do whatever you want if you don't make it a secret.
You know, we kept. I saw this documentary. It's on Netflix about Rob Ford, the mayor of Toronto,
Yeah.
and how he kept denying, and they finally said, "Well, here's the video. There's you with a glass pipe," you know.
Yeah.
And finally he had to admit it. You know.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's what it's just the secrecy.
And he was holier than thou. He was like a conservative right winger,
Right.
You know.
Which makes him a hypocrite, which people hate.
Yeah, yeah. The only thing they hate more than sinners are hypocrites. Hey,
Yes.
listen, have a nice time at the doctor's with your throat.
I will, and I apologize for the coughing.
Oh, that's
fits.
okay. That's okay. Don't worry about it. I just don't want you to push your voice either. And hopefully we'll see you next time because that'll be after you have your little thing, right?
Yeah, my little ENT tater tape.
Okay, well, I wish you lots of luck, and you know how much we love you, and everybody else does as well. I get lots of nice emails about you.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Well, I love you right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lori Thompson. Bye, Lori.
Later.
Later.
Now, in its 11th year, this is GabNet. Talk like you've never heard it before. That's
our old friend and partner, Lori Thompson. And I, as I say, I love having her on because we have the same kind of camaraderie together, as you hear here, as we had on the radio every morning. And so you can have a good idea of why people really like the two of us together. And I'm so happy that we can be together again. And I'm just hoping that her health gets better and better and better and better. Anyway, here we are. It's another week. It's another $1.50, and we're doing another show. And we will be here, I guess, tomorrow night, the night afterwards, and I get the weekend off. But anyway, there's a lot of stuff to talk about. You know, there are things that have been happening. Nothing that is any different than it has been, but let's start bringing some people in here. There are only about 3 of them waiting, but that's okay. That's all right. We don't mind. And Scott Boddicker is there. Yes, there he is. And there's the lovely and attractive Mike Wallace, Charlie Wallace.
Wallace.
Yeah. Who, against a white background, it kind of it diffuses the light a little bit so we don't get as much a picture of you.
Yeah, I don't know what to do.
I remember once years ago when we were doing Midnight Blue, we went out to a club out in Queens where there was this music group playing, so we were going to record them for the show. And we went out there, and the club, the backdrop of the club was completely black. All right? And the group that we were going to record was completely black.
Black on black.
Yeah. So the only way that we could actually see their faces, and we brought some lights along. We brought some extras just in case. We had to pour tons of light on this stage just so you could see them. So, you know, so much for... I don't know how rap groups finally made it. Nobody could see them when they were videotaping them, you know. But the amount of light we had to pour onto that stage was incredible, you know. Here comes Brian Neary, too. Okay, fine, good. There we go. I think you're okay, Jeffrey.
Thank you.
I think you're all right. We don't hear you coming back at us.
Back at us.
Huh? Yeah.
I should be on.
And there's somebody trying to get on that I'm not going to let on because he's that guy that always calls up and then says nasty things to me. You know that one?
Alan?
The one.
Oh, no, he's on already.
Yeah. No. This one is Adam Solomon, and he just gets really nasty when I say I don't want to talk to you. He says you have to. You can't not talk to me. And I go, what are you trying to say? You know, screw you. I don't care. You know. But anyway. So you can sit there, Adam, all you want. We don't care.
Well, that's my buddy Adam. Oh, man, you're so mean.
Oh, you want to see the guy with the poop coming out of his, you know? And,
No.
Yeah.
Alex,
Yes.
what does your shirt say tonight?
Oh, this is just from KMEL in San Francisco. This was a
Camel.
station I worked
Yeah,
at.
the camel or something.
Yeah, KMEL. This isn't actually a real camel T-shirt. This is a, what was that? I don't know. Anyway, this was not a camel T-shirt. This was one I had made up. You can go online and ask for people. There's somebody who makes these things, and you get them for any radio station in the history of radio.
Right.
Tell you what I did today, though. I got to tell our good friend up in Canada about this. I was watching one of the Letterman shows where he just got back from having his heart operation, right? Mm-hmm. And at the end of this whole little thing he was saying and doing, he said, by the way, we have a gift for everybody in the audience. And it was a T-shirt with a, what can we call it? Just a line and a bunch of, red. What do they call it?
Staples or whatever.
They call
Like
them,
a surgical cut.
No, but they have a term for it. They call
Incision?
it. Well, it's an incision, yeah, but it's called a zipper.
Oh.
Yeah. So he made up these things with the date of his operation and everything on them. And Marjorie said, "Gee, I wish we could lay our hands on one of those. So that'd be great to have. If I could get two of them, I'd send one up to our friend up in Canada because he goes crazy. He does that Letterman podcast." And so she looks it up. And sure enough, she finds one for sale on what is it? The
eBay.
eBay. Yeah. You know how much it is?
$10,000.
$17,000.
I'll bet.
You're kidding me.
If you were somebody
Buy it.
sitting in that audience and you saved that,
You could sell it for a fortune.
you can sell it for a fortune. Yeah.
No, it's for sale for a fortune. If nobody buys it, it's not worth it.
It's not worth it. Exactly.
So
Exactly.
you're trying to spend all your money, so you might as well buy 3, right?
Yeah.
In what country is your VPN pointed?
What?
In what country is your VPN pointing to?
I don't have my VPN pointed anywhere.
Oh, okay. I was just going to say that it could be your VPN is in Mexico, and so that 17,000 is in pesos.
No, yeah, no. This was I don't use VPN. What's VPN?
Virtual private network.
Businesses use them. Yeah.
Yeah, businesses use them. Do you use them at your place, Ryan?
My old company did. This company's a startup, so we're still using Google for everything.
Oh, you're sure to get hacked.
Google emails, Google apps, Google Calendar, Google everything. Yeah.
Google porn. Yeah.
I don't know. You talk about people getting what do you call hacked, and the fact of the matter is that I don't worry about that, and I've never been hacked yet. And I don't use VPN or anything like that. Now that I've said it, there are going to be a lot of people working on it.
That's
but
what I was thinking.
no, but I just don't care.
Yeah.
I really don't care. As long as they don't encroach on any of my financial stuff, like
What's to
bank
stop 'em?
accounts and so on, in which case I'm protected anyway,
But it's a lot of a hassle for a few dollars in monthly fee or whatever for the VPN software. It takes that risk, some of it.
Have you ever tried to I've tried to download with VPN, and it's so much slower.
You must have I got a 1 gig whatever it is router.
I have
And
a 1
without
gig. I have a 1 gig router here too.
Right, but without the VPN on, I get close to 1 gig, sometimes over it late at night. With the VPN on, it's 800 megabits.
Mhm. And who are you using?
Nord.
Same one that I use.
Yeah.
And it's slow.
not for me.
Anyway, Charlene.
Well, you probably don't go to as many porn sites as I do.
No, I used to, but after the operation. Anyway,
hear
Charlene.
Yeah, I just wanted to know. I vaguely know about VPN. I should just keep it off, right? Don't put VPN on.
Well, here's
on
the
my
thing.
phone.
Well, here, a lot of things. If you're like on a lot of things where you sign on with passwords and things like that, and you put on your VPN, you're going to have to sign on with all those passwords again.
Okay. Because I have it off. I just keep it off.
Yeah, I don't.
Me too.
I mean, I subscribe to it. I've had Nord for 10 years, maybe, and I think I've used it twice.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I don't know why I do it.
It isn't antivirus. It isn't anti-malware. What it does is it hides your location for security. And if you're at home, you almost don't need it, because your home network is safe. If you're in an airport with a laptop or a tablet, that's where you want it, or a hotel where you're using the hotel's Wi-Fi. Somebody else could be there hacking into it and get all your passwords.
Yeah.
And that's basically what the VPN does.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah, it's just another piece of security software.
Just another piece of crap for them to sell us. I mean, I just don't. I don't worry about it that much. I mean, you want to hack me? Go ahead, have fun.
Yeah, well,
I have my money in places where it's safe, and if you want to go to my bank and hack it, you really can't, the bank will protect me on that.
That's right. That's right.
So I don't care. I just don't care, and it's too much trouble. It's too much trouble.
One of the reasons I have it is because the first time Trump was in power, he allowed your whoever you get internet from to follow you around on the internet, and to look at where you're going and what you're doing and passwords and all that. The VPN stops all that.
Yeah, so I don't care.
Okay, if you don't care, that's fine. You know what it is and you know how it works. I would leave it on, Charlene, in New Jersey. It's just like security software. I mean, that's all it is. If you're not worried about if somebody cracks into your, say you use one password 3 different times, and they get into your 3 different accounts, and now you've got to go back to those people, and whatever.
I mean, you can use it, Charlene, if you don't find it to be an annoyance. I find it to be an annoyance.
I think it's annoying too.
If you get the free ones, you don't really know if they're working. That's the first thing. And the second thing is,
let's say you sign on to something that you subscribe to, but now you turn on the VPN. It's going to want all the information all over
that
again.
stinks. I hate that.
I
hate when that happens.
My VPN, you don't need to log on. Nord, you don't need to log on to, and it's in a country where no.
It's not a question of signing on to Nord. I can do that in a second.
Right.
Okay, but that's not the point. What I'm saying is when you go to, like, let's say you've got, what is it? Hulu. Okay. You want to sign on to Hulu. If you got your VPN on, it doesn't recognize it.
Then you can turn it back on.
Or you can keep it on and just sign in again with your password and so on. But, and then my reason for wanting to really use the VPN is I've maybe, want to watch the BBC in England, and they won't let me watch it because I'm in the United States. So then when I sign on in England, I can then sign on to it. I did that on Netflix once, and then it screwed up my Netflix for weeks.
So last time I flew somewhere distance, I flew to Chicago about 8 years ago, and my ticket. This is quick, Charlene. My ticket was going to be I forget, $800 business class round trip. So I took myself out of California, the Bay Area, and put myself in Mississippi on the VPN. The ticket went in half the cost. I put my credit card in, and they sent it right to me in the Bay Area. It's good for shopping.
You mean what they're doing is they're charging differently because you're in California than if you're saying Mississippi?
Yes.
There is something blatantly illegal about that?
They can charge whatever they want. You know, I play with it sometimes with Amazon. I'll turn it off and I'll go on Amazon to look at something. I'll say, wow, you know, that T-shirt is $27,000. No, it's $27. And then I turn the VPN on and log out of Amazon, log back in, and now the T-shirt thinks I'm in Mississippi, so it's a poor state, and so they're going to charge me $17 or $14 or something like
There's
that.
something very wrong about that.
Well, unfortunately,
You know?
it's the way the internet works. So
Yeah.
Can we talk about
Well,
Trump?
okay, wait a minute. Hold on a second.
Not talking about Trump.
Wait a minute. Let's go to Charlene. Then you can talk about Trump, Brian.
No, I just want to talk about this.
Mine is fast. It's just silly. When you said I don't care, it reminds me of Kevin Meaney, R.I.P. Rest in peace, Kevin Meaney. I don't care.
Yeah,
I
boy.
don't care.
Yeah.
My jokes don't go over. I don't care. Sorry, isn't that silly?
Yeah.
Of
You
course,
want?
none of us know who that is.
Yeah. Hello to Scott Boddicker, by the way. He's here tonight. Hi, Scott.
Hey,
He was here
Alex.
last week too.
Yeah.
Anybody near you flooded out or anything?
No, just Charlie.
No, just
Yep.
Charlie. Well, Charlie, you had that problem down there. Was that girls' camp near you?
It was actually about 60 miles west of here, but
Well, that's still
it was flooded
close.
here too.
Huh? Yeah. How much did you get flooded, or were you fine?
We didn't get flooded because we're kind of high up on a high level. We're not on the lower level. We're not on the lower area. But there were deaths in Travis and Williamson County.
You say
Yeah.
we? Do you mean you and your girlfriend?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now, how about you? At your other place.
Yeah, that's on a high ground up on a hill too. So
Mm-hmm.
All the rich people live up in the hills, and they see all the peasants down in the lower levels.
You
Charlie's
would know.
on
right.
higher ground.
You
He's on
would
higher
know.
ground. Thank God.
I'm,
Yeah.
I'm high all the time.
Yeah, well, there's nothing I like to watch better than Christian girls floating by. So
That was so sad. I'm
they're
sorry.
really
I
sad.
joke
I mean,
about
I made a joke there, which is probably in
Trump
bad
even
taste,
been
but
there?
Too
Yeah.
soon. Too soon.
too soon. Okay, but I got to tell you that was sad. That was just sad.
And it's Trump's fault, right?
And
or
you hear
something?
these
He
girls.
blamed it on Biden.
They're having a great time. You're at camp. You're doing little plays. You're doing this. You're doing that. This is the last thing you expect,
Yeah.
And those poor
It
families.
happened at night too. They were all asleep in bed when the
Oh,
water
that's
came
terrible.
rushing.
4 in
It's
the morning, yeah.
Terrible. But I mean, I saw cars floating down and whole houses.
Yeah.
Whole houses, yeah.
Well, nothing. Well, one day you got a house, next day you got a house boat. Okay, so it's
Trump was blaming the valve, no water before. Now the valve was over on too high or something. What?
Yeah, or something.
yeah. Well, here comes.
He blames Biden for it.
Really?
Yeah.
And then Marjorie Taylor Greene this week wants to make it illegal to change the weather.
Right.
I agree with her.
She doesn't
I think
believe in
I agree
climate
totally
change,
with her.
but she
I
thinks we
just
can
can't
change the
believe this
weather.
girl.
Yeah. But here's Don Giller. Hello, Don.
I got the show went by so quick today.
Look at that. That's it. That's it.
And he paid $17 by changing his VPN.
Now,
down
how did
to
you
12.
get that, Don? Did somebody give it to you?
One sleeve has a 5 because it was a quintuple bypass.
Mm-hmm. The other sleeve has the date.
Yeah, and the other right.
Yeah. How did you come by that? Although I assume that you have sources.
I have 2 copies. I have 2 of these.
Really?
Wow.
And they're only 16,000 apiece to you, Alex.
I'll give it to you for 8.
8,000?
Yeah.
I'd almost pay for it. I'd almost pay for it. But how'd you come by them?
One somebody on the staff gave it to me, and the other one I just don't remember.
Really? Okay. So you have 2 of them.
I don't remember.
So you could sell one of them and make yourself a few bucks there.
Well, if someone will buy it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But I mean, I imagine if they're asking for 17,000, it's because they can get it. Oh, wait a minute. He's going to
Alex?
show us something else.
That's to be determined.
Has another Late Show shirt on. And what? Foo Fighters. Okay. All right.
This was distributed to the Foo Fighters made this.
Mm-hmm.
And they gave it to everybody on staff on the last show.
Wow,
Oh,
nice.
wow.
That's nice.
Yeah, well, they and Dave had a nice love affair going, you know?
Wow.
There it is.
Very cool.
There it is. Yeah. Wow.
That's it. Gotta go.
You're going to leave us, are you?
Yeah, I got so
Alex,
much-
that was because Dave had a heart surgery?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I remember that, but
Quintuple,
I wasn't in there with the
quintuple
shirt.
bypass.
I remember that, I think, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I got a YouTube comment. This was I put up an appearance by Harry Carey,
Mm-hmm.
1986. Someone writes, "Wow, I had no idea Farrell was doing a real guy."
What?
Farrell used to do Harry Carey impressions,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All
Oh.
right.
Sing
Farrell?
sing
And-
the.
and this person didn't even know that he thought it was a fictional character.
Harry Carey?
Yeah,
He was
He
a
goes
he
way
was a
back,
baseball announcer.
Well,
Don't
yeah,
say
but
that
he
in
was
Chicago.
He was
Right,
also a cowboy actor.
Right, right.
Not the same one.
yeah.
I don't think he was
I'm
like
thinking of
this
Roy
in
The
Rogers.
Chicago.
name, yeah.
Not a real cowboy.
No, but just I get this all the time. People don't know this stuff, you know. And
Well, you know something? It doesn't surprise me anymore.
yeah,
You know,
it's just
I'm not surprised
depressing.
if I met up with a kid who's like 21 years old that doesn't know who David Letterman is.
Yeah, I know.
Oh yeah, I mean people born exactly 21 and they're like 10 or 5 when the final show went.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, I'm not amazed by that. And when I go back to some other stuff and I try and figure it out, you know, and I try to wonder why don't they know who so-and-so was or whatever, I realize they don't. You know, they don't pay attention to what goes on before they were born. I always did. I'm sure you probably did, Don. You were interested
Yeah.
in stuff that happened before you were
But
born.
they're not. Yeah, is Charlie Wallace here?
Yeah.
I can't see him.
Well, wait a minute. There he is. Oh,
He's in the middle
Charlie
square.
disappeared.
He's close to you.
You can fall for it every time.
just show him your teeth.
Yeah.
Oh,
Show him your foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's
Yeah,
a
be
good one.
careful. I hold up my foot.
No, but I mean, it's just amazing how many people don't know about things that went on before they were born, you know? And I mean, tonight I was watching a documentary on the making of Sunset Boulevard. Now,
Oh, I got to see that.
Nah.
Ooh, thanks, Alex.
you never saw it?
Is it an old one? Because I love Sunset
Oh no, it was
Boulevard.
made yesterday. No, it was a movie they made based on the Broadway
Oh,
show.
I know that with William Holden.
Yes,
Yeah,
right.
great film.
Yeah,
Sorry.
He's
Yeah.
dead now.
but you know, when you say to people Gloria Swanson, who they don't know who that is.
Oh,
Yep.
man.
Swanson dinners.
Yeah, Swanson
The lady.
Dinners. Yeah.
I'm getting comments from people who want me to send them clips from the Tonight Show with David Letterman.
Uh-oh. They get confused
Where
between
he
Carson.
was the host.
Yeah, well, they just don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
You can
Really?
go on YouTube and watch his videos. I mean, watch
Yeah.
his shows.
Dick Cavett, too.
You know who puts those YouTube videos up?
Who?
Got me.
Oh, yeah?
Don Giller.
Some loser
Oh,
who has
God.
no life.
Hello, Brian.
Now the
Brian.
FBI is going to be
Wait a
knocking
minute,
on
that's
his door.
Brian. I mean Kevin.
Oh, fine.
Hi, how you doing?
Hey, Kevin, just saying hi.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, the headphones on, sorry.
How was your weekend? Did you do anything sensational?
Quite a bit.
Okay, that's an answer. You
I was on the road for 6 days. Yes.
Wow.
were on the road for 6 days? Where you went up to Oregon? Tell
Yep.
me. Yeah, right.
Yep.
You're so
Did a lot
good.
of stuff.
But are you buying the place up there?
Well, I'm trying to. We looked at like 22 houses.
Yeah, and none of them cut the mustard.
Yeah, we got down to about 3. Now we're trying to deal with things, and there's a lot of things that have to be dealt with. I'll put it that much.
See, if I bought a house in the country, I would want a house in the country. I would want to be like miles away from anybody else.
Yeah, I'm trying to go in the middle with the wife, a little bit out there, but not too far. Be able to go to town, but not in.
Yeah. You've got cable and high-speed internet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But there's nobody on either side of you for a while.
Right.
Yeah. That's what I would want.
Yeah. That's what we're shooting for anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Now you're not moving up there because of the daughter, because she's not going to be in college forever.
No, but we've always wanted to move up there, and we were going to retire and have a bed and breakfast on the coast at one time 25 years ago, but never did it. So she went to school up there, and she likes it. She's going to stay, and I decided, you know what, maybe we'll go up there and...
Well, come see us. We'll give you a bed, and we'll give you a breakfast.
There you go.
Yeah. I got a room, Alex's bed and breakfast.
We'll see what happens.
So anyway, so I'm glad I told that story about that shirt, because leave it to Giller, he's got one.
But it took me an hour to find it.
2. Yes, 2.
Where was it eventually? Not that I know your apartment.
Yeah, and for good
Not
reason.
that he knows his
How many
apartment.
bedrooms do you have in that apartment?
1, barely.
So where are you when you talk to us?
I'm in the middle room.
The middle room. So you've actually got more than one bedroom. You've got another
Well, they're
room.
not. They're 3 corridors. We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
They're not really rooms.
It's actually in the bathroom, and that's
See, because this room here is a bedroom, and then we got a bedroom over here, and then we got a third. Well, you've been here, and then we have a third bedroom. So we use this as kind of the office, because it's the most. It's like it's almost eye-shaped. It's not. I think they put up a wall here at one time to separate from the other side or something like that.
You can't see it because of your backdrop. Your backdrop's your living room.
Yes, that's our living room.
It's on the green screen.
Mm-hmm.
But I think on your pop-up, you don't have the.
I use this. You laugh at that? You think that's funny?
No, I'm scared. It's frightening me.
Yeah.
You can do the same thing, Dawn, and it would look like you were in Hawaii or something.
Yeah.
Alex,
Yes.
when I was in New York, it was a while ago. I moved out like 25, maybe more than that. But it was railroad, and then it was shaped like an L. I can't remember what they used to call that. Like railroad went straight through.
Well, railroad apartments, and what they were is you walked in the front, and then you just went, like the front part was maybe the kitchen and so on, and then you went to the next part, and it was.
I had like an
something else.
SRO.
Maybe it was a bedroom, and then there was another bedroom behind it, But
yeah,
it
they're
was
called railroad flats.
It's called railroad flat. And then in New Orleans, they have houses that were built that way. They're called shotgun. Shotgun.
Let the flood water go through, right?
Right,
Yeah.
just right through it. No problem, But yeah. So anyway, let's see here. Anything happening in the news that was? Well, we talked about the floods, and let me see here. Oh yeah, hey, Netanyahu came to visit. Isn't that wonderful? He's such a great guy. Such a great guy.
Did you hear that he gave a certificate to Trump?
Yes.
For the Nobel Peace Prize.
Well, having him nominate you for a Nobel Peace Prize, I think, is like somebody saying O.J. Simpson nominating you for Father of the Year. I mean.
Yeah.
Husband of the year.
Husband of the year.
Usually they don't give peace prizes to people that start wars.
Well, I just don't understand how anybody would. I mean, obviously, over at the Nobel Peace Prize people, they're sitting there laughing their heads off.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Going,
I think what
this
he gave
guy,
him
this
was
guy just sent a bunker buster into Iran, and he's going to get the Peace Prize.
My point exactly. He's actually gave him for the no balls peace prize. You know?
Yeah, but what about today? What about today? Who is it? Was it Libya? What was the country today where he said, "Oh wow, your English is so good. Where did you learn English? Where did you study?" And then they said Google. They Google that, and that's like their language. Their language. Their first language is English.
Is English. Yeah.
Well, everyone speaks English. Yeah.
Well,
This guy must have learned from Dan Quayle.
Yeah, he spent like 2 minutes saying, "Wow, your English is so good." And I don't have guys who speak that well English.
Well, the biggest stupidity that I have seen from Trump in recent memory was when somebody was asking him about the tariffs. And he said, well, we just send a letter like off to Japan, and we say, "Dear Mr. Japan."
Right.
He couldn't even remember who the guy was he was sending the letter to.
Alzheimer's, it's a horrible.
You know, if this were a comedy, it would be funny. The fact
Yeah,
that it
that's what I
isn't
say,
is, you
Alex.
know, that it's not
It's
funny.
not funny. It's serious stuff.
Now
he's
the
doing.
Supreme Court has given him the authorization to fire 100,000 federal workers.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, it's okay with me. You know, it's fine. Fine. There won't be any weather service or anything like that. And then you won't know when the next flood is coming, Charlie.
Yep.
You
You
know.
don't have to know when the weather is going to be bad.
Huh?
The weather's going to be the weather. Who cares if you know what's coming?
Well, Marjorie Taylor Greene does. She doesn't need to alter it.
In the case of Charlie in his part of Texas, they would have liked to have known what was happening.
Charlie's on a hill.
You're on the hill, yeah. He's
That's a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah, Charlene.
Am I stepping on anything you were going to say or something? But I thought I heard
Always.
that Putin won't fund Ukraine, but he's going to fund Putin or something. I heard that
I mean,
somewhere.
Trump
Is that
isn't
wrong?
going to. Well, he's mad at Putin now.
Oh, he's mad at
Yeah,
him.
he's
Oh.
mad. He's having a
Today.
hissy fit against his boyfriend.
Mhm.
You know. So now there are two lovers who don't have anything to do with it.
Right, Musk and Putin.
You think they're boyfriends?
no.
I thought it was like
Putin and his wife, whatever her name is.
Oh, Malakia or Malaria, whatever it is, right?
Malaria.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That illegal alien.
Well, by the way, in case anybody's interested here, there's no Amy tonight.
Amy.
Yeah, no
Intersection.
Oh,
She's not doing her show tonight, so she's not feeling well. We wish that she gets better. But anyway,
How come the president has a wife?
oh my God.
And the question is, did she ever moved into the United States, or did she somehow sneak in?
well, I'd like to know what her legal status is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
Do you-
Melania? Malaria? Oh, she came in on a genius visa.
Yeah, that's
a
right.
genius visa? Is there such
What a
thing?
genius. Yeah.
Yeah. She keeps her brains in her boobs, apparently.
Well, I mean, you know, she's not.
They're not even that big, though.
Yeah, but they're nice.
She's not. I wouldn't say she was stupid, although anybody that would marry him has to be.
Yeah, no.
Yep.
She must be very smart because she
Doesn't have anything to do with them.
Well,
much.
Melania Trump. I mean, I don't
she
know.
speaks like 7 languages, though, too.
Do you know the latest thing that Trump was saying and doing? He wants to look at Elon Musk and see if they can throw him out of the country
Good.
because he's from South Africa.
Good.
No, I kind of like having Musk around now because he's going to start giving money to Democrats to primary these.
Why didn't he do that
Republicans.
before?
Well, because he was.
Well, he was busy firing everybody.
Yeah.
Stupid
Yeah.
guy. He was
That's
an
his
idiot.
management plan.
Yeah.
Fire you.
Yeah. But anyway, so.
They had to put him in one of these camps for a while
Yeah.
and not actually send him to South Africa. They had to send him to Nicaragua or something like that.
Yeah.
Alligator Alcatraz.
Now-
There you go. Alligator Alcatraz.
Now, Giller is doing his work right now. Yeah. What are you sorting out there? Are you cleaning up the office?
Yeah, right.
I'm just going to put people to sleep.
Thank you.
Really?
Whoops, uh-oh. Did I do something?
No,
That's got to be a green screen back there, right? Is that green screen?
it's a green screen in his office.
I went to Antioch College around 3 weeks ago and spent a week going through 8 boxes of archival material about this guy I'm researching. And I didn't get, and a friend came with me, and we were there for 4 working days, and we didn't get done as much as we would have liked. So I was allowed to take 8 boxes home with me.
Oh,
And
wow.
so I'm going through some stuff.
So how did you get down there? Did you drive or somebody drive
Road
you?
trip.
Huh?
Yeah, road trip.
Road trip. Okay, but you don't have a car, do you?
I don't have a car.
No, I wouldn't think so.
I haven't been there. I hadn't been there in 47 years. I hadn't been out of my apartment in 47 years.
Where is Antioch College?
Do you know where Columbus, Ohio is?
I do.
It's in the center of Ohio.
Yeah. There's an Antioch, California that's not far from me, and that's why I was wondering.
Yeah. If you go down to Cincinnati, which is in the southwest corner of Ohio,
Right.
That trajectory from Columbus to Dayton to Cincinnati, Yellow Springs is around here,
Okay.
around 2/3 of the way towards Cincinnati. So southwest portion of Ohio.
Is it where you get bachelor's degrees, or is it upper level stuff?
But at the time, it closed. It shut down in 2007, 2008, because there was this gigantic strike in spring of '73 that caused all sorts of financial disaster. We were there, 3 weeks ago. That school's graduation was a day after we left. The number of people who graduated was 15.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's a small college then. Okay.
Well,
huge ones usually have more than 15 graduating.
Yeah, you'd think. I mean, the place is empty. Half the buildings are shut down, and a couple of dorms I used to live in, they're all you see is grass. They were torn down. It's pretty depressing.
It kind of sounds like what they're doing to Harvard.
Right.
Yeah, with slightly less endowment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but still, I mean, it was. That's what a couple weeks ago when I said transformative. That's what this trip was.
Good. Yeah. Well, it keeps you busy.
Yeah.
It gave you a reason to wash clothes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got 4 boxes of reel-to-reel tapes that I will digitize as soon as the weather turns more human, because I have an AC, but it's not doing very good. So
I think tomorrow, this may excite a lot of you. I think Marjorie and I are thinking of taking a shower tomorrow.
Nice.
Together?
Not together.
Well, no. What happened?
I'll come by.
Huh? You'll come by? Okay. Bring a loofah.
No. Just turn the hot off.
If I see you guys, if I see you guys go live tomorrow, I'm turning off my phone.
No. We're not video putting it up. No. No, it's just that, we don't leave the house because it's just been nothing but hot here. I went to my neurologist the other day, and it was 97 degrees outside.
Oh, that's fall weather.
Stinks. It's so humid.
I mean, come on, So what I'm going to go walk down to the grocery store? Screw that.
No.
And we haven't done that for a couple of weeks because it's been that hot.
Yeah.
It's like pea soup in New Jersey.
Tell you what,
You walk out there.
What I got,
Humid, huh?
I went to my neurologist, yesterday, and I haven't gotten any worse. Okay, that's for good.
Where
news.
is that, by the way?
What?
Your urologist.
My neurologist.
You still haven't told me.
No,
he did. He emailed me.
Get me off the hook here, Giller. Did I not send you the name of my urologist?
No, you did. Yes, you did.
Okay, and have you called him?
I called him what?
Huh?
Well, after he inspects me, I'll call him late for dinner.
Yeah, right. No, but really, did you
No,
call
I haven't.
him?
I haven't talked to him. I haven't had any need to, but at least I have his phone number. And
Well, you should get a checkup.
I get a check. I have a urologist, and I get a PSA test, blood test, every 2 years.
Well, this should be every year at your age.
Yeah, I mean, my PSA level is like minus.
Plus,
3.
the bonus is he's going to stick his finger up your ass.
Yeah, well, some people enjoy it, and some people don't.
Yeah. Well, my urologists over the years have constantly checked me that way, and it got to a point where I just didn't care anymore.
He said, "Stop sticking your hand up there."
Yeah. Well, giving me a box of chocolates afterwards was not the right thing to do.
It just confirms that I'm not gay.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Well, I often said I'd be good if I was gay. Then I would really look forward to that appointment.
But anyway,
right.
I've interrupted your neurology story. Sorry.
Well, so I went to my neurologist, right? Now he starts talking politics with me, and he says, he says he's Jewish. He says, you're Jewish. He says, are you going to leave New York now? Because once this guy becomes mayor, he's a Muslim and he hates Jews. And I'm going, haven't you even heard the guy talk? He's very open to everybody and making everybody feel comfortable here. He just doesn't want to make the billionaires feel comfortable, and that's fine with me. His stand is that there shouldn't be any billionaires. There are too many billionaires out there.
Right, there are.
Yeah. Well, I was watching stuff on the Gilded Age and all the money that was going on then. And at that time there were no taxes. So every penny these people earned, they had. And yes, they were only millionaires in those days, but compared to today, they were the wealthiest people in the country. Yep. And they had a lot of screw you money. And they took advantage of people. And they did some pretty evil, horrible things,
Kind of like the president that we have now.
Well, Carnegie did some evil stuff while he was running his steel mills and so on. And there was this horrible fight, this big fight that went on between the steel workers and thugs that he hired to put them down when they wanted to go on strike. And after that, he felt so bad, he built concert halls. He built museums.
Carnegie Hall.
Yeah, he did a lot of stuff like that. So at least out of guilt, Carnegie did some good stuff, But anyway, this guy's saying, oh, hey, what do this guy's he's a Muslim and he hates Jews and I'm going, no, he doesn't. In fact, he wasn't, while he is a Muslim, he wasn't born in any of the so-called Arab countries, He comes from Africa, I think, somewhere in Africa.
I heard Ghana or something was part of his heritage.
Here today, Ghana tomorrow.
Right.
Here today, gone tomorrow.
Oh, you like that one, huh, Giller?
I like that.
I just feel so sad for you.
Well, I got to fill up an hour and a half every night, okay?
Yeah, but 5 minutes is just promotional crap, and then the 25 minutes is taped.
Yeah. And then your point is? Okay, so I do an hour.
All right, fine. Well, just be honest, okay?
Okay, I do an hour.
Yeah.
So it's a good, solid hour, isn't it?
It's still sad.
I have to get everything I can out of it,
That's why you have 8 other people here to help.
Of course, you're recording all of these and put them all up on YouTube, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna
Wait a minute, they're already up on YouTube. Anyway.
Yeah. It's the entire 90 minutes is already up.
No, we still got 15 more minutes.
No. That's up now.
That's what?
It's already up.
Oh, my show is up?
Yeah, your 15 minutes to come is already online.
Oh, I see. Okay. Anyway, so anybody? Let's see. Oh, how's Adrian Brian?
She's good. Yeah, she's. We went last week to Vegas for her nationals, and she scored pretty good. But it's nationals, so you have a lot of people, a lot of dance studios from different states, and then.
By the way, just for everybody here, when I say I scored really well, it means an entirely different thing. Anyway, go ahead.
So then, so one of their top songs scored very well, and they got to perform at the big gala they have. So, so we had a good time, very good time.
And did she gamble?
Nope.
Oh no. Did you?
No,
Did you?
She kept saying that. Why are we leaving now? I haven't even gambled yet. She's telling adults like walking by this because we walk through the casino to get to the performance area. So.
Did you gamble it all yourself?
No, and I only had like 2 alcoholic drinks.
She has like gobs of dollars.
Well, when you go to Las Vegas and your date is your 9-year-old daughter.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
She had a great time.
What'd you say, Giller?
That he's on the Epstein list.
Yeah. Speaking of that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There's no list.
Speaking of that, by show of hands, how many here feel that the Epstein files had no client list? Raise your hands.
I'm glad because I'm on it.
Oh, really? What, Kevin? You feel that there's no client list? All right, turn on your microphone.
Who knows? You still on?
You're still muted. You're still muted.
There you
go. There you are.
There you go. There you go.
I'm on the same page as Don. I'm on the list, so I don't want to.
That's amazing to me. See, I mean, that's what the government can do now, is that they're going to just make Trump look good.
If you watch his face when somebody brought that up,
That takes a lot of effort.
jump all over it too.
What'd you say?
It takes a lot of effort to make him look good.
Yeah, but I'm talking.
That's
Kevin.
I was just saying that if you saw his face when they brought up that question, he kind of up a little bit and jumped right on it. And then after he said his little piece about how it's a waste of time and blah blah blah, he said, "No, Pam Bondi, why don't you answer?"
Yeah, he said that's a waste of time talking about him, and then he spent the next 10 minutes showing portraits on the wall. Now, here's the thing that's kind of interesting. Everybody is saying, well, we know this has got to be a fake deal. Because what happened was they had a video of his cell, okay? And it was, they released the whole video of the cell, and there's nobody walking in or out of that cell. And they said, see, nobody had time to kill him, all right? Except that there's 1 minute in that video missing.
Sounds like the Nixon
and you can even
tapes,
see it kind of jar a little bit, and you see the timestamp jump. So there's something.
The missing Nixon minutes.
What?
Remember
The guy that was stabbing him hit the camera by accident.
Oh, I see. Okay. No, but I mean, that was,
Remember Rosemary Woods had her foot down according to Nixon and his thing?
Yeah.
So somehow mysteriously there's missing footage there, right?
Well, no, they don't know why, but everybody says, look, there's a jump cut. There's a slight jump cut there. But that happened. You can also see the numbers that are rolling by all of a sudden go back up about a minute and a half, something like that.
But why is Maxine? What's her name? Why is she in prison?
Ghislaine Maxwell.
Yeah.
Why is she in prison? There's no list.
She's a woman.
Gil, what's her name?
Because she didn't kill herself or die, so she's been sentenced. Yeah.
Well, I think Trump had him killed, and I think that
she's the patsy.
Well, she wasn't a patsy. She was involved with him.
Accomplice with him.
Was an accomplice, but I think she was given way too much time in prison for her
okay.
part of it, because they had to nail somebody for that.
Right,
and because
right.
he was dead, they couldn't nail him.
Took
How
the
much
rap
time
for
did
it.
they give her?
I think she got something like 30 years or some
Wow.
amazing amount of time. Yeah.
Wow. Just for kissing Trump? Wow.
No, that's not what it was about.
I know.
But Maxwell, I think she got a raw deal. I mean, I think she certainly should have gotten something. She was complicit. She was kind of his, she kind of rounded up the women. You know, that's what her job was.
Groomed them. She groomed them.
She
right?
groomed them, yeah.
Yeah, well. She's a principal in the crime that he was charged with.
Yeah. No, I don't know that Trump ever went to the island, but he didn't have to go to the island to get laid by young girls, courtesy of Epstein, right?
Right.
And he's there just in those photographs, buddying up to him.
Yeah, dancing with like 15-year-old girls and stuff. I saw them today. People
Well,
put them up to show you that
He
you
was
know, there's
dancing. I
photos.
didn't know he was dancing with 15-year-old
Yeah.
girls.
I saw it. Somebody put it up on Facebook
Well, I guess
or something.
there's nothing against the law of
Right, but
dancing.
still,
Dancing?
you know,
Okay.
yeah, he was. Maybe who knows? He was
They were
doing
just
more than
good.
dancing.
They were
right?
just good friends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we were just dancing. Yeah.
But you know, I mean, everybody's is very suspicious of that whole thing.
Yeah.
And once again, I don't think the Trump people are going to get away with it. Today at that press conference, as you say, he said, "Oh, are they still talking about him?"
That's old news. He said. Yeah.
That's old news. Well, of course they're going to be talking about him. They just released the information. You know.
It's the long list of stuff. The war's going to end. Day one, I'm going to make a phone call, and just all his lies.
Yeah. Well, it's okay. I'm sure he meant to end the war the first day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but he said he was going to release these the list.
Oh, yeah.
and
Well, what was in the Kennedy stuff didn't have anything either, did it?
Nope.
Wasn't
That's
even good
redacted
stuff.
Hmm?
Yeah.
No, but I mean, Kennedy stuff didn't show up anything.
Nothing exciting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was Kennedy on the Epstein list?
If you mix the files together, yes.
Oh.
You know. And our look at the cat. Look at the kitty. I love kitties.
Yeah, me too. Where's the kitty?
Look, there's the kitty.
Oh, look, he's got a washer and dryer that match. Put the cat in there.
The cat's got a lot of room to move because you haven't really put the furniture in that much, right?
Yeah, but the problem was when they had half the floors tore up, the cat would go in the floors. One day he was in the bathroom floors. I kept trying to get him out, so I said, "Screw him, he'll come out eventually." So
He'll get
the
hungry.
next day he came out finally. But
Well, I told you about the cat comes to visit us, okay, and we take care of the cat. And Marjorie always says, I always say to Marjorie, she likes to open up the windows because she wants to get air. Okay? I keep telling her that's hot air coming in. If you close the windows, maybe you won't get as much hot air. But anyway, she keeps all the windows. I like to keep them closed when the cat is here.
Yeah.
Because I'm on the 8th floor of a building, and we do have a ledge out there. There's a little ledge, but I don't want the cat going out on that ledge because I'm going to get apoplectic. I'm going to go crazy. Well, she leaves the window open, and all of a sudden I wake up in the middle of the night, and the cat is half out the window.
Oh, wow.
oh my god!
And as I get up to go get the cat, and I don't know what to do. I don't want to spook the cat, right?
Yeah, don't
The
make him
cat
jump.
goes all the way out the window onto the ledge. And when she sees me coming, luckily she turns around and comes back in. I
Yeah,
said to
but
Marjorie
you
the
would've
next
been
day, I said,
out there.
I've told you this over and over again. Don't leave the windows open when the cat's here. Oh, I forgot. What? You know,
Get a window guard.
I mean, what am I going to have to do? Tell her friends that when they come to pick up the cat, well, did you notice your cat was a little depressed?
Flat.
Flatter than usual.
You know, it's a little depressed, you know.
Took an 8-story plunge, but it's acting okay now.
Yeah. I mean, it panicked. And you know, for a good week, I would look at that window and I would start getting chills. You know?
Thought Marjorie was going to open it and wish you would go out on the ledge.
Well, there was enough room for the cat to go out on the ledge and then turn around and come back. I mean, it's about this wide, I guess, you know. So the cat had some room. And luckily, the cat, when she saw me, rather have fun with me than be out on the ledge. So,
Get a window guard.
well, we use those, but they're a pain in the ass to put in. And really, I got to tell you, we got the air conditioning on and stuff like that, and it doesn't. If you tell me I'm wrong, if it's hot weather and you keep the windows open because you want air, aren't you just getting hot air?
I agree.
Yeah.
Aren't you keeping the place cooler with the windows closed?
My husband is like Marjorie.
And it's the
He opens
humidity you let
windows
in
and stuff
too.
with the
Yeah, the
air on.
humidity. You
You let the
absolutely.
humidity in. The air conditioner's got to work extra hard taking the humidity out.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is that I keep trying to tell her you don't have to turn off the air conditioner. You know, I mean, you don't have to.
Just-
You don't have to.
Just give
don't
up,
have to
Alex.
open the
Give up.
windows.
Give up. You can't tell them anything. Just give up. Just let them do what they want to do.
Yeah, she is a wife. You have to say yes, dear.
Let them do what they want to do.
Yeah, do whatever
Yes,
you want
ma'am.
to. Hey, where's the cat? Yeah.
Hey, he's walking back and forth. I don't know, it's crazy.
Well, all I could imagine is the cat walking along the ledge, you know, and me having to like, oh God, I just.
Yeah, I thought I'd lost them a couple times through this whole move because people left the door open or something. So now I put them in one of the rooms and I say, cat inside, do not open. But yeah, I found them all over the place. And then the other night,
the cat will usually choose to be where the you know. I just noticed I've been out of sync for quite a while here. Hold on a second. Let me just change something here. Here we go. There we go.
think
Now
any of
I'm
us
see.
know
Now
that.
I'm okay. All right. Anyway. But you know, the cat it depressed me when she did that. It's just for a couple of weeks I was still looking out that window and getting chills. You know.
this is where he keeps going. Oh, I don't know if you can see. The heater.
Yeah.
The heater back in here. So this morning they didn't have this door on yet. They just put the door on today, and he was back there this morning. I had to get a broom to get him out. And then he ran down the hall, and I chased him down the stairs, and I thought he ran out the front door, but luckily he ran in the garage. Oh my God, it's driving me crazy this morning.
Oh boy.
But now everything is sealed up, so it's good.
Is that the only cat?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Get another cat. Get a second cat. No. This
He's
cat.
freaked out. He freaked out because he's looking from the front windows down, and there's a couple of cats out there. And there's a cat that the other night, and I was sleeping, and he started freaking out and hissing and everything. Scared the hell out of me.
Oh boy. Anyway, hey, listen. There's a theme. There's going to be no Amy tonight, folks, because Amy is not feeling well. You might all want to send her a card. And we really enjoyed having you guys here. Scott, always good to have you here. Long time caller to this program, so I really appreciate it.
I'm back. I'm back, baby. I'm back.
Jeffrey Stein, thank you so much, as to Charlie Wallace and Charlene Martinez and Alan, thank you. And Brian Neary, thank you. And of course, Don Giller, what can I say? I don't turn around, I'm going to steal that from you. And finally, of course, we have Brian here. Not Brian, Kevin here. So it's a nice bunch of people. Everybody give a big wave goodbye. I'll give a big wave goodbye to you as well. Maybe we'll see you again tomorrow night. In the meantime, I'm Alex Bennett, and that's it for tonight. We'll see you again tomorrow night, same time, same station in life. In the meantime, as always, if you see her, of course, tell her I love her, okay? Bye-bye, everybody.